spreading Sega awareness.
Oh! That's right. Kunai Celebration 3824. Yeah! Fucking A! It is possible to do this game without using kunai the entire time.
Shinobi 3 is a very simple control scheme. A is your ninjutsu, your special. B is attack. And C is jump. The controls just work. However, it does leave one small limitation.
At a far distance, he'll throw a kunai, a projectile attack. If he's close to the enemy, he'll melee attack him with either a sword or with his kunai in his hand, like a dagger.
While this works in any percent, or in any casual play of the game, this does not quite cut it for a kunai-less run.
Actually, I use the 6-button mode instead of the 3-button mode.
That's right, Shinobi 3 does in fact have a 6-button mode, and once you activate it, it makes not throwing kunai, and in this case, accidentally, trivial. Let me explain. Let's bring up the example from before, where what attack you did depended on how far away from an enemy you were. Now, 6-button mode really doesn't change much, except one vital thing. Now your long-range attack and your close-quarters attack are mapped to two different buttons. B now handles your close-quarters combat, while Y or Z handle your kunai. Now, the player has complete control over what attack to do and when. This is hugely important, because now Faust, or any runner, has no possible way of throwing an accidental kunai. Unless...
So, there are instances where you can throw kunai in 6-button melee mode, and there are 3 in total. 1 and 2 being the Y and Z button, which you should never have to worry about because you shouldn't even be going near that. And then the other one, which can happen quite frequently, especially on the falling rock stage and traps, is if you double jump and hit B for the melee attack, you can still do the kunai spray and shoot out a kunai. And that has happened to me many times and automatically invalidates the run.
Alright, cool. Sounds easy. I couldn't possibly see any reason why this would be difficult.
Oh, are you kidding me? Fuck. Ha! Well, are you fucking kidding me right now? Why can't you double jump right now? What the fuck? What the shit? Are you fucking kidding me right now? Can things just go right? Ugh. The world record with kunai is the any percent run. That's 24 minutes. This has never been done. Because I haven't used any kunai or shriek.
So, why did I decide to start a kunai-less route? Well, it was about 2 years ago, and I had just first started getting into speedrunning, and the first game I learned was a PlayStation 1 game called Brave Fencer Musashi, and I was like, let's continue this. Let's go to games that I'd destroyed as a kid. Next one in line was Shinobi 3, so I looked up the run and saw all this stuff, and saw a bunch of streams by Cure and his runs at AGDQ, and so I followed him, and he was doing a bunch of runs that year. We were going and talking in his chat, and they were just dicking around about stupid ideas like destroying every crate in a run.
And then he like said something about like, oh, a pacifist run. He was like, a pacifist run actually would be pretty possible, and I think I might do that. And I was just like, oh, I know that there's this 6-button mode where you can just have a melee attack and not have to throw kunai. So I was like, what if you just didn't throw any kunai throughout the entire thing? And then Cure was like, that's actually really interesting. I actually think that would be pretty cool to see. And as soon as he said that, something in my mind was just like, you're doing it. I was like, I'll do this and the any percent run. Well, when I was practicing the any percent, I just realized, man, I suck ass at attempting to do those clip tricks that they do with the kunai throw. And so I was like, let's just fuck that goal. We're just going to straight up focus purely on this kunai-less. And eventually pulled off a 38, like 40, I think. And it was like the first single segment, and I was in utter shock. I think I went another run a few days later after that 38-40 and got like a 36 something. And then I didn't touch it for like a year. This is around submission time for AGDQ 2019. And I think it was Sonic Man actually was like, you know, do you got any other games that you want to submit other than like the ones that you got? And I was like, you know, the only other runs that I really have ever done is like Shinobi 3. That's like it. And that's just like the kunai-less. And he was like, oh, why don't you just submit that? Just see what happens. And it didn't get accepted, but it made me want to try it again. And I think I ended up with like a 32 something or whatever. And I was like blown away that I had even gotten to like a sub 35, let alone a 32-minute run, because it was like, I thought it was impossible to get through even on 40, sub 40. And so I was like so proud of it, and it didn't get accepted, and I was like, fuck it, I don't give a shit, because I'm still going to AGDQ 2019. When I showed it off to people there, a lot of people started becoming more receptive, and then there was like, we were doing this mini GDQ like party where we were all doing speed runs, and this one guy, his name is Caillou, he saw me doing it and he was absolutely blown away. So he went home after GDQ, instantly started running it. And so by this time I was like grinding through that, he was grinding through it, and he ended up getting, I think like I think it was like a 30 something. So he beat me. And then at that time, there was another guy who came out of nowhere online named The Ripper 999. I think his name now is Cool Hand Mike. He started doing it, and he was kind of back and forthing with Caillou on this 30, 45-ish range. And I was still chilling at like my 32 time, and was like, man, what the fuck am I doing wrong? Like, man, I routed this, and these guys are like taking it, but I was proud at the same time.
Spoiler alert, Faust ends up getting world record back. And we're about to show you. But first, let's go into the locker room and witness Faust's pre-game warm-up ritual.
I feel like now.
I mean, like 5.
All right, 3, 2, 1. All right, so this is the first stage of Shinobi 3, and this is where I kind of start to show off the capabilities of the melee attacks itself, mainly how much distance and how much damage the sword can do. As you can see, we kind of blaze through it really quick. In the second stage, Secret Entry, it's 2 sections. Both have auto-scrollers. This one's just purely auto-scroller, so there's nothing really much to talk about. Then this is the other part. Pretty basic stuff. And then this boss, it's just a simple slash with a POW, because that's 3 hits damage. And then just do a quick Mijin. And as you'll see right here, just 1 Mijin, and that's it. Then the consistent strat, even in any percent, because you can just throw a POW'd kunai. And then body weapon. Oof. This stage is a little finicky because of the brains. This section right here is really RNG when they come down. But what's really interesting is right here. At the boss, we're going to Mijin once as soon as it's on the screen.
And then the second it moves 1 frame, we're going to hit Mijin again, and that instantly kills this boss. And you'll see me do that again in a few other areas too, especially at the Ninja Master boss and traps. So Destruction, another auto-scroller. Mainly, my main concern is like the RNG of their pattern, because they can screw up when I have a POW, and that makes that little mini boss really bad, because normally he takes 33 hits without a POW and 11 hits with a POW. And then same with that boss. I mainly just try to preserve my POW. Electric Demon. Oh my god. This section, routing it out, was so difficult, but do a little glitch there to take out that mini guy. So mainly we just gotta take care of our platforming and everything. Like right here I do a little setup, because normally the bullet from the machine gunner will knock you back into the pit. So what I do is I kind of take a little body hit from that gunner right there, and then I abuse the iframe to kind of take the machine gun hit and not get kicked back. Damn! I don't know, but that was a massive goal. I use the lighting shield so that way I can try and take some shurikens that the flying guys do. And you really need to keep your POW, because this boss right here, you can't Mijin. It just ends his 1 cycle. It doesn't do a lot of damage output, it just does damage to the end of the cycle, and then he does his cycles over again. And then coming up is the Ninja Master. We're going to do a double Mijin to do a quick kill on his first phase. And then after that, we just kind of hope for good RNG.
Shit.
The final confrontation.
Shit. This is the choke. It's always the choke right at the end.
The stage that gives me the biggest headache, mainly because of all the technicality. You have to be precise in all of your platforming and all of your inputs.
Yes, Bruzy, yes.
You just mainly have to know the route, where to go, what enemies are going to come down. Here it's all about the wall jump. The wall slash jump is really interesting. It kind of, the physics behind it is it like pushes your sprite back over if you hold towards the wall that you're jumping off of, and then slash. You'll see like right here. And we abuse that pretty much throughout the whole run, but this is a great example of where it's utilized the best. And then the final Zed fight, just do a lightning shield, and then run towards him and slash away so the first phase is done real quick, and then get up in his face and know if he's doing like his little breathing thing to kind of just walk away a few steps and then run back and attack, so he'll like ready up and attack and be open. And then after that, you're as good as gold.
New world record, 28:41. Damn. Holy shit.
And I'm going to be running kunai-less at AGDQ 2020. And I'm extremely excited to bring this run into a broader audience and not only bring awareness to Shinobi 3, but also to the Sega Genesis speedrunning community